My name is Shipley. I'm the owner of the Starting Strength franchises in Houston, Texas. I found Starting Strength somewhere towards the back end of 2016. I never thought that I was as strong as a guy my size should be. And so one day I just said, screw it. I'm done with all the cardio. I'm gonna lift heavy and see how strong I can get. So I looked into Starting Strength and realized that it cut through all the BS. There was no arguing with the way it was explained from like a physics and moment arm and biology standpoint. There was really no arguing with it. In an industry that's full of Instagram butt models and the latest fad, like this cut through all of that. I was in oil and gas, working for a company that did oil and gas engineering and construction. It was fun. It was interesting. It was a great industry to be in. There's always work. I think I was fairly good at it, so I didn't have any career concerns. Around about 2016, I come back to my faith. By this time, I'd been training, gained a little weight, put on a little muscle, and people look at you and say, like, JD, what are you doing? Like, you look different. Every other conversation is starting strength. A couple buddies are asking me to help them, and I start coaching some friends. And so I'm driving home. Right, I got this 45-minute commute. Driving home. And I'm just kind of lost in thought. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? I was good at what I did, but it wasn't getting 100%. This is gonna sound kooky, but I quite literally heard help people get stronger. And I got home and I told my wife, I'm gonna quit my job. I'm gonna open a gym. I'm gonna become a coach, a starting strength coach, and we're gonna make a go at this. And so 6 months later, I had quit. But at that point, the opportunity to franchise was already out. And I thought it was something that I was going to compete against. The more and more I looked into it, the more I realized, one, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yes, a franchise is expensive up front, but like I'm buying into a team who's just as bought into my success, if not more. And then they've got all these, like they have a technical guy, they got a marketing guy, they've got somebody who like backstops all of the stuff that I don't have. So September of 2018 is when I quit. And then by December of the same year, I had signed up for 2 locations in Houston.
The gym's profitable now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You got a couple of both of them, right?
Yeah.
This is making money?
Yeah, we're making money. The success of the Houston gym is due to a lot of things, right? I would say, the Houston market is very, very strong. When I wanted to open this location, I was thinking of putting it in the Woodlands, which is a very, very strong market. But just the sheer size, I remember the franchise saying, hey man, like we understand because you live closer there, but just look at the size of the market in Houston. The better decision is to put it where it's going to be, the most successful. And we had some really good apprentices that helped make the culture coming in here someplace that people wanted to be. I think the biggest challenge is getting the right people on staff, figuring out what people are good at, and then putting them in a situation where they can thrive. We're a people business, right? All of this is just a means to an end, right? The racks and the walls and all that stuff. We're about coaching. The coaches are what matters. Being able to coach the starting strength method requires a very high standard, right? It's very high quality coaching. Everybody that you bring on staff is going to add something to that culture of the gym, right? So it's the hardest part, but it's also the best part. It's most rewarding, right? To see coaches flourish and to see members flourish. That's my favorite part. What advice I would give for somebody who is thinking of opening a starting strength gym, I would say work at a starting strength gym first. I mean, whatever you can do to get into a gym as an apprentice, do that so that you can see what it's like to run them from the ground up. Like, what does the apprentice go through? What does the staff go through? What is a member going through, after a couple months worth of training at a gym, right? 2, plan on getting your SSC, even your credential, even if you're not going to coach long term. Plan on getting it so that you know what your staff is going through in order to get that credential. And 2, it puts you on the same page as far as making decisions. You can make better decisions if you know where your staff is coming from. To the extent possible, right? Open more than one. There's only so many slots that can be occupied, and I think you're less likely to attract really, really good people. And it's the really, really good people that are gonna make or break your gym. I love my staff. I love my coaches. I am extremely proud of their love for what they do and what that means as far as their contribution to the culture. The people aspect has been the best part.